Mousesports turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Virtus.pro's turn to ban. Mousesports turn to pick. Virtus.pro's turn to pick.
I speak for the trees.
Mousesports turn to pick.
Slog.
Mousesports turn to ban. Virtus.pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Mousesports turn to ban. Virtus.pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Virtus.pro's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Race King.
Mousesports turn to pick.
Invoker.
Virtus.pro's turn to pick.
Outworld Devourer.
Mousesports turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Needs assassin.
Virtus.pro's turn to ban. Mousesports turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Virtus.pro's turn to pick.
Drow Ranger.
Mousesports turn to pick. Prepare for battle.
Good farm. Their mid game is going to be.
Do you go ultra
absolutely
greed with her, like a
phenomenal.
blink dagger, mask of madness? Just positioning is
Ultra
Drow.
envy.
Yes, ultra envy, pretty much. Let's go over the lineups. Actually, let's talk about the colorblind mode, which we've taken off for this game because we want to wait for like a bigger discussion, I guess, to see what's the benefits and pros. But the problem, I guess, with some people was that the blue kind of melds with the mana, which I
30
could see the
seconds
shades
to
of blue
battle.
probably aren't different enough overall. So for now, we're just going to take it off and we'll revisit this.
So if
another
nothing
time.
else, what was really interesting about that is the discussion that was started. And of course, if this starts becoming something more and more prevalent, then it's probably something that Valve can work on, making the colorblind mode better for non-colorblind people. Because of course, it shouldn't be so that helping the colorblind players makes it a worse experience for everyone else.
Red versus blue?
So
Except
I
there's no
think,
red.
I think it's been healthy just to bring up the discussion, and for now we're just
The
going to have it
battle
back to normal.
begins.
But I can see both sides of the argument.
Well,
right?
I'm sure there's
So-
a middle ground that we can
Yeah,
figure
exactly.
out
That's the goal. The goal is for the colorblind mode to be so good that non-colorblind people will actually enjoy it as well.
Yes.
So we'll see if we can get to that point.
But let's go over the
lineups
lineups for now.
Valve that has to do it. Okay.
Yes, Valve, always you, man. Always you. Virtus.pro, JOTM, otherwise known as Jotum, otherwise known as Treant every single game, or pretty much every game. Ness is going to be playing the Wraith King as the 4 position. Illidan on his 1 Drow Ranger. Mid lane, we're going to be having OD played by God. And last but not least, Nature's Prophet, as usual. Arsart, his favorite hero, apparently. Remember back in the day for Navi, he used to play AA every single game. Now it's Nature's Prophet, so
Yep.
he's
and
upgraded himself.
if Illidan can manage to hold the lane, Nyx is not getting experience again in this lane. And that's a really big problem that Nyx will have in the Dire off lane in comparison to Arsart in the top lane, who's already level 2, starting to bully away pass here and starting to steal perhaps some of the farm here from the Ursa camp. And he can do this knowing that there's no second support here. Enigma has to farm, but he does not, he actually doesn't have a ward seeing Enigma's rotation, so perhaps there will be an opportunity pretty early on Misery to set up a first blood on Arsart.
When do you think Drow comes online? I know Fogged is a big proponent of Drow Ranger. At what point do you start taking part in fights? Because it's not a hero you want to farm the rest of the game for, right? At least that's not how it's being played lately. The ult helps out the team quite a bit. As long as your positioning is good, I guess. That's the main thing. That's why I bring up the Blink Dagger. It's kind of greedy, but it makes a hell of a lot of sense in a lot of cases.
I think in many...
Oh boy. Oh boy, Arsart. Oh, the Malefice. Sunstrike. Everything used. Mousesports gets first blood.
Died all right.
And that's the Radiant off lane, so...
Bottom lane MSS.
Oh, and now we have the Dire off lane, NS faking the Wraith Fire Blast, and they're just going to push.
Yeah, they have a lot of pushing power here, of course, with the Treant and with the Drow aura for herself and
Dire's
the Prophet. They should be doing some pretty good damage. Treant, not the worst of tower pushes either. He hits really
Dire's
hard.
structures
Sure,
are
his attack point
fortified.
isn't that good, but he's still pretty decent overall. And I don't know if Mouse has any response to this so far. There's no
Radiant's
TP on the
top
Ancient...
tower
Oh, there
is
is a
under
TP on the
attack.
Ancient Apparition, but not on an Enigma, so... This is a very nice classic play as well.
Dire's
Arsart with the
bottom
Treant
tower
pulling away the
is
creep
under
wave. This
attack.
tower is gone. So good start for Virtus.pro in that regard. They did give up first blood, and Enigma was not pushing top at the same time, so there was no tower trade,
Dire's
and
bottom
Illidan
tower has
getting the
fallen.
first tower blood.
He's going
here
for
as
Fast
well.
Yasha.
He is getting really, really
I think he's
farmed
going for
early on.
Fast Yasha. Probably would pick up boots here, but
And
actually
mid
gets
lane,
Dreads.
God is crushing Fata, and what I was saying about this lane was
Yeah.
Exort Invoker needs to have a good start. If he does not get off to a good early game, he will be trailing a lot against God here, and God has been making work in this
Good
lane.
God, he's been good.
18-11, haha, versus 6-1 on Fata.
I feel like Astral Imprisonment against any intelligence hero is just too hard to win your lane. This is why I'm expecting a gank to come here very shortly.
And
but
I'm not sure I
nothing
agree
yet.
with the Forge Spirit, with him getting 2 points in Quas instead of 2 in Exort, because the Forge Spirit, sure, it lasts a little bit longer, but the 9 lower damage, I think, plays a really big role in this lane, but still, overall, maybe you want more duration, because now
Look
he
how much
doesn't even
damage he
have mana
has.
to cast it
Look
anymore,
how much
so,
damage he has.
yeah, there's no way.
Insane. No mana pool, no damage. That kind of sucks for an Invoker, but...
It's actually really hard. I think, yeah, maybe overall Quas Forge Spirit is actually better, since it has to last long, because he can't cast them all the time. He's out of
Right.
mana. So looking really, really good so far in this early game for Virtus.pro. They gave up first blood, but they're winning 2 lanes. They got a tower.
But Misery is still getting experience in the jungle, so nothing to forget about here.
Experience
MSS.
factor 2K.
Oh, actually, MSS gets an Invis rune.
favor of
This might be some free
Mouse.
experience for him,
Radiant's
but he's
top
going to
tower is
transition
under
towards mid,
attack.
so looking for a gank on the OD as we talked about. And I think that's Enigma actually wrapping around as
This
well.
is a nice 3-point gank.
They
for,
saw him
Mouse.
pick up that Invis, I think. Maybe not. Here we go.
God.
Impale's going to hit. Cold Snap to follow. He gets something delivered to him, but it's not going to save him. Cold Snap is
He's
there.
not microing the courier!
Radiant's
Okay, so they're
courier
going
has
for the
been
courier.
killed.
They're going to get the kill, so
Well, at least he's
he
still alive.
lives. I guess that's a good try. I don't know what to call that. Misery gets an Astral Imprisonment, so he won't have any mana here.
The
but
courier is a bigger
Radiant's
kill than
top
God,
tower
though.
is under
Oh
attack.
boy, but it was delivered, of course. Arsart trying to get out of God.
gonna get
Pycat! Not enough damage at this stage of the game. Well, at least it wasn't like a bottle on the courier like we've seen in the past. As you can see,
Radiant's top
nothing was on the
tower is
courier.
under attack.
That production value, that poor... I wish we could see the courier dead, though. Like
Was it a regular...
if it's dead and
Are
standing,
they
it, I
using
don't
the
know.
regular donkey?
Okay, so apparently they're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
be
they're
adding the
using-
models in
They're
the
using
future.
the Flying Stompy, actually.
Because people in Dota TV won't know what the hell we're talking about, but it's all good. Astral Imprisonment, NS is coming in for the Ray Fire Blast. Of course, they have a Leech Seed as well. Fata, you're in a lot of trouble, good sir. Has no mana to do anything. Easy kill going away to Virtus.pro, so it's tied up at one apiece. Unless you want to call the courier a kill, then it's 2-1 Mouse.
I will call that a kill.
Okay.
It's actually still... I still think it's a bigger deal than killing God, although Fata would have got some good experience, but the global gold for Mouse is going to be really important. Since Fata was losing already, the other lanes need to get the job done, and I don't know if he should have gone for the Midas here on Invoker. Sure, it's good to have a comeback Midas, but it's going to cost so
Oh, they're
late.
going to go for him again, wrapping around behind the Tier 1 Fata.
Oh boy,
Wraith
that's
Fire
bad.
Blast, Leech Seed,
That's
God.
real bad, guys.
That's real bad. Gets off a really nice Ice
Zero
Wall.
damage ult.
Well, The sanity clip didn't do a whole lot. Actually, Pycat's going to find OD. This is going to be a big kill coming his way if he's able to finish him off.
bottom
One more
is
right
not
click.
under
3
attack.
HP.
One more right click, Pycat. You can do it, bro.
He needs to hit the
2
pounce.
seconds on pounce. He could dodge this. Oh! I've never seen anything like that before. That was interesting.
He's out of mana though.
Yeah, Arsart actually cancels the health pot right away, but
Can't
Pycat
get him. Oh
is
my
very
god.
fast. Pounce Astral. That's scary. You can pounce Astral.
Damn, that
Radiant's
was
top
so
tower is under
close.
attack.
He can get a blink dagger right now too, so expect him to do exactly what he did last
6.5
game.
minutes. It's pretty good timing. It's
Yeah, and
exactly
Drought
the same
has
as
a
last
mask of, or the Morbid Mask, I think it's called.
game. Mask of Morbidity.
What it used to be called?
Mask of Death.
Mask of Death? Yeah, that's why I always get confused by that. But he's going, I'm assuming he's going Mask of Madness. And he could go, yeah, he could go Helm and just stack, but
Dominator is the classic build where you just start stacking Ancients, because Drow can actually look at her massive lifesteal right now. She can pretty easily farm a double camp at the same time if she stands somewhere over here, so they keep moving back and forth between
Right.
this line. But Mask of Madness is, I think, too greedy in this game. Against a Blink Dagger Slark, you're just gonna die.
that's a great
Radiant's
point.
top
Yeah.
tower is
and
under
that also
attack.
means that neither Blink nor Force Staff are going to keep her safe.
Radiant
So
structures
could be a little
are
bit of
fortified.
a tall order for Illidan, actually. I don't think this is a that good Drow game. Both Slark and Nyx easily come in
Radiant's
close.
top tower has
And
fallen.
she loses so much potential when someone is close. Of course, her aura, or her ultimate, for those not completely familiar with it, she gets 40, 60, or 80 agility based on the level if no enemy hero is within 400 AoE. So a Slark with Blink will remove 40 agility from her right away. And
Of course, it doesn't just apply to her.
that applies to the precision aura,
Right.
which affects the other ranged heroes on her team. Right now, that aura is giving 33 damage to herself, OD, and Prophet. That's just sick.
It is sick.
It's really, really sick.
But what are you going to do with the Slark with a blink? I mean, they knew coming in that he would pick that up. I mean, this is not a Drow before a Slark pick, right? They knew this coming in.
Uh-oh.
I mean, Force Staffs can be something
Uh-oh,
he's going
God,
to
you're in
BKB.
trouble.
Yep, God's going to get surrounded, but he's going to think better of it
A
and
really
walks
wise
away.
play here.
Very nice. Big plays from God.
Recognizing that Slark is gone, so not gambling
Haste.
here.
Haste rune, Pycat. He's itching for a kill right now.
Yeah,
Illidan.
he's wasting a lot of time. God is ready for this, and there's a sentry as well, but Mouse want to set him up here, but Living Armor is of course available across the map, and they have 4 heroes in position. Here comes Pycat.
Oh boy, Fatha getting stunned. There's a Drows. A little bit of silence action. Pycat, though, not able to go on the Astral Imprisonment. And he's forced to use his ult and just back up here. They do get a kill on Drow, surprisingly enough. Stun coming out, Misery. Black Hole still up. Of course, he has no
Why
mobility
was
on top of
Illidan
that.
out here?
I don't know where he was. That's why
His
I was
entire
surprised.
team was in here, and he's a Drow. Going into the front line like that is going to get you
Well,
killed.
it is Illidan, after all.
Yeah.
He-
Why wasn't Illidan here?
He plays very ballsy, which I enjoy watching, which is why I say he's a very entertaining player, because it could turn out really well for him. It could turn out god awfully, which in that case it was definitely the case. But he's still top farmer in the game, along with the OD. And
Dire's
Slark
top tower
hasn't had
is
the same
under
impact that he did last game, which I guess we shouldn't be too surprised by, just based on the fact that I don't think I've ever seen a start like that from a Slark, at least to that degree. It was insane. What did he get off, 10-0? I think he got 10-0 to start the game.
He was beyond godlike at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And now he's 2-0, so big difference there. And based on previous games, this is not enough of a lead for Mouse to win the game, because Virtus.pro came back from really significant deficits, and Mouse have a good... How good is that lead? 2,000 experience, 1,000 gold at 10 minutes? Not really significant.
Who do you
when you
favor
have the
late?
jungle favoring you. Mouse will only win late game with a big black hole. There's no other way. There's so much pressure on Misery to win that late game, because OD, Prophet, and Drow Ranger with that Drow aura are going to go completely nuts. They cannot deal with that.
And then there's Wraith King.
Yeah, the
Haven't
aura.
talked about it.
Don't underestimate that aura.
That's double lifesteal for Drow. So it is pretty sick overall.
Rotation top lane. They're looking for Pass, who has now backed off, so really good timing. Oh, maybe actually he's going to come back to the wave. This smoke gang could easily work out. Hanging
Wraith
in the
King,
side here.
Treant, Pass.
NS. Oh, perfect moving back there. Pass
Oh,
is so
here
dead.
we go. Leech Seed. Don't even need anything else, I don't think. One stun from NS should do it, and it is. Nature's probably thinking about coming in, but no need.
And Slark actually TP top. Pycat will try to get a trade-off here.
Uh-oh, Pycat has the blink. Jumps on the bottom. You're seeing the Sunstrike gonna destroy NS. Holy jeez. Jottam not able to go down thanks to Pycat's right click. In fact, he targeted incorrectly.
Mid lane.
Could have killed the Wraith King. Of course, he does
God.
have his ult.
With the Astral. I don't think we're going to see a
Astral
follow-up
into
here from them.
nothing. Yeah.
This is the one weakness they have.
Gust, man.
They really
Awesome.
need
Radiant's middle
overgrowth
tower
to
is
win
under
fights.
attack.
That's the one weakness their lineup has, is that they don't have much control. As far as damage goes, their damage is insane with the 3 range heroes, but overgrowth, if it lands, and if they can combine that with Gust, hands down VP wins the fight. But
That's a tall order for a treant that's not getting a whole lot of fun.
yes, any sort of misstep, any sort of blank. Now,
Oh boy.
make it a lot harder,
AA
yeah.
gonna get hit by the AA ult and die. I feel like
Of someone else with the same name's medicine.
yes, exactly. Well, okay, so Blink Dagger on a treant I think is actually very
Radiant's
important in this
bottom
game.
tower is
To be able to
under
position
attack.
yourself in range for that overgrowth, if there's a black hole or something to that effect, or just to set up a great team fight. Wraith King, I still would like the Blink Dagger as we talked about last game, but I don't think
Dyer's
it's as
middle
important as the
tower is
tree
under attack.
getting his.
Lane.
Dyer's
Oh, he could stop a
structures
TP
are
right now. He will.
fortified.
Jotun
Use
stops the TP
overgrowth.
from MSS, and
Alright.
that means the mid tower will be going the way of Virtus.pro.
Well done. Well played. Digital Sports. Able to get the tier 1 tower
Dyer's
mid,
middle tower has fallen.
and I believe they'll get out just fine.
Will
Jot him
they
in the
salvage
meantime.
their bottom tower?
Leech Seed applied to Misery. He has the
Radiant's
black hole. I'm
bottom
not sure if he wants to
tower
use
has
it here. It'd be a
fallen.
pretty big waste overall. NS getting absolutely
He
demolished.
got mana burned!
Oh my god, he did! NS in the meantime, I'm sorry, Enigma in the meantime gets Astral in prison. They're just going to leave him.
So 1
Wow.
for 1 tower trade, but Wraith King did go down. Very nice.
And typically
mana burn
speaking,
here.
we talk about it all the time, the mana burn from Nyx not necessarily that great against Wraith King because it's based on intelligence, but it was enough this time to...
Pycat on the courier
Radiant's
hunt.
Oh,
has
big
been
plays! Second courier kill, trying to get those compendium owners back on track, especially myself. God, Astral Imprisonment, do they have anything to follow this up with?
In comes MSS.
Got
They're
him.
going
Oh,
to go on
beautiful
Illidan.
silence on top of that. Black hole, I'm sure to follow. Is it coming? It's on nothing! Misery! Too late, my goodness. He's going to eat the potato, though, getting his strength back thanks to the french fries. But, Pycat, he's going to pounce for a nice Astral, going to keep
He
damage.
has ult. I got silence.
Gust on top of that. Beautifully done. 4 staff on top. We're going to see 0 kills. Okay, Arsart. Okay, my goodness. Overgrowth from the other side of the trees. Very well done.
Here comes
Still
Illidan
no
with the
kills here.
flank.
Misery, you don't have your ult. What are you doing, good sir? You are dying, good sir.
He was going to die anyway.
All right.
So, actually, okay going for the kill on Prophet there, but will not be successful. But all the while,
1 kill in that fight. That's
Fata was
unreal.
not there. And that's really important to note because he's catching up. We were not sure how good that Midas was going to be, but he actually got it at a reasonable timing. And now he is 1.4k gold in, only trailing about 1,000 for behind the OD, which is really good considering how hard he got countered in that mid lane. Looking good for Mouse. 3k gold, 4k experience, but
Still a close game, though.
Still waiting.
This is a very good game.
I'm waiting for that BKB on Drow. That's when shit's going to go down, I think.
Shit's going to go down.
Shit's going to go down.
Oh,
That's my
peace.
shit.
Oh,
That's
sick.
my shit.
Apparently, NS needs a minute, so we're going to have a pause here. Tactical in no way.
Very
because
tactical pause.
What did you think about the tactical pause in the previous game? Rocks Kiss. Obviously, it wasn't actually a tactical pause, but of course, keep in mind that when you're in the game and it's paused, you can't actually move the camera. So, not as good as it used to be as far as tactical pauses are concerned, but that's something to note for sure. So, the longer this game goes, the more I favor VP, of course. And I just feel like the drop pick is kind of weird, though. I mean, the silence is very nice. I think Gust is underappreciated in a lot of ways, but she's countered so hard if you have one hero even close to her.
Yes.
Which Slark can easily do, Nyx can easily do, Enigma, I guess, with the Blink can easily do. So, we'll see how this game goes, though. Drow is always an exciting pick. Oh, wowie. Oh, wait, nobody else
Shout
hears
out
that
to
but me.
PGG, nice. Misery acknowledging his amazing black hole as well.
Yes.
So,
As
there's
long as
the
you can
Midas.
laugh at yourself,
4%.
life is good, is what I always say.
I think this game is going to be the closest in the series so far. Just based on the first 14 minutes, I think this
The game's probably going to be over in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That
Again,
prediction.
sorry guys.
Oh, Pycat's in pretty deep here. Driant's going to find MSS, puts down the sentry, in fact. But he
Okay,
knows they put
game
down a
2 was
sentry.
really close, so maybe not close.
Oh boy, Illidan getting caught out of guard. Gust is there. AA ult will fall.
He's actually going to live.
Illidan's going to get 4 staff. Wow,
That living armor.
so good. He has 2,200. Why is he not spending? Does he want to save for buyback? But I don't know.
Not sure. He could go into a Yasha, which is a really greedy farming build, but of course the aura is really good for his teammates, or he goes for the BKB and Make sure to come back. Oh, this is so greedy from him farming here. Pycat's going for it.
Oh, there's a treant there still. He pounces Illidan. Oh my god. Oh, a beautiful Astral Imprisonment, saving him at least for now. Overgrowth on MSS and Pycat. Leech Seed to follow. Nyx Assassin taking a lot of damage. Pycat's the focus fire from AA and Jotum. They're going to be able to pick off MSS, but Pycat will at least get away. It was a trap.
But they're losing Roshan for that. Mouse
didn't even know.
going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
Very easy Roshan kill for Invoker and Enigma. And Fata is just completely back in the game after being crushed. He now gets the Aegis. He's level 10. Boy.
Pycat has an invisible
Sunstrike.
Sunstrike's there. It's going to be shared damage between Jotum and God, but Jotum is a pretty easy kill if he can't get off Nature's guys, but he's not going to do so. I don't know if Pycat can get this kill, to be honest.
And they're getting a lot out of that living armor. It's preventing Pycat from going for these kills.
Well, like you said, though, the Dark Pact's pretty good.
They need to post-cast it every time after Dark Pact is how they need to use it. And they've been doing a really good job at that so far. Not panicking on the living armor, but casting it when it's most effective.
An Urn on Tree.
Dire's top tower.
We'll see how this
is
works
under
out. I mean,
attack.
Urn's obviously a great item. I just feel like Blink is so important in this game. Surprised he could even afford that, too. I think he's farming better than the Wraith King. In fact, he is just by a little bit.
Is under attack.
Staff on OD as we talk. Actually, let's just do an item roundup because I don't think we're going to have a fight here. Any items of choice. So Illidan picks up the Ultimate Orb,
Dire's
in all likelihood a
top tower is
Manta,
under attack.
and
You cannot break the Pounce leash with that, I think. I'm pretty sure you stay leashed.
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, you should. You really should. Mid lane,
It's a hit or a
Fata.
miss, though, you know. Yeah, Fata, Leech
He
Seed,
does
Gust.
have the Aegis, though.
He does have the Aegis, like you said. Impale's only going to hit one. Overgrowth to follow. MS is going to be the target of choice here. NS getting Astral Imprisonment along with the living armor. He might be in a little bit of trouble. I'm sure the Malefice will follow very shortly. There it is.
He has enough
Easy
sticks.
kill.
He didn't use it.
Oh, wow, you're right. You are absolutely right. Illidan again in a horrible spot. Illidan. What? Is he nature, guys?
Oh my
He's nature
God!
Oh my god, he's panicking. He's panicking. Oh, they're going to find Jotum, but I think they'll trade that any day of the week as long as Drow can get out.
Will find him.
No, Illidan! Illidan, run, please! Gust is there! Oh, I wish he...
Radiant's middle tower
Oh,
is under
Sunstrike.
attack.
Boom! Oh, that is truly unfortunate for Illidan. I don't know what in God's name he was doing in that position, but it didn't work out for him, obviously.
Yeah.
And free tier 1.
They committed so
Radiant's
hard on
middle
killing the
tower
Aegis
has
carrier. They
fallen.
should have known that that was going to come around for them. And actually, what they could have done there was they killed Fata. If Wraith King uses his wand, will die again, but his ultimate will save his team. They
Yeah.
could have all run out because of the slow. And NS, I think, too greedy there, not wanting to use his ult. Just sure, it's a long cooldown, but it would have kept Drow alive and probably the other hero who was also dying there. Who else did they lose? They lost 3. They lost the
They lost
Treant as
Tree,
well.
Drow, yeah, and
It's a
Wraith.
really big deal here. Now because of that, Mao's getting a really comfortable lead. 4k gold, 7k experience, and Misery taking over the enemy jungle. It's really important. He can play with such confidence. Now he almost has a BKB as well.
Who's that?
Misery
Oh,
on
wow.
the Enigma. That's going to be
Good
really,
God.
really early. Gets a lot of easier setups to go for that PGG.
That was truly a PGG for sure. And the funny thing is, he had so much opportunity to get a 3 or 4 man. I think he was trying to be greedy and ended up costing him in the end. Level 2 Necro now on Invoker. And a Blink on Nyx Assassin, so expect some more ganks to
Big
follow.
items coming out here.
Yeah, Mouse, they're getting the item advantage. And look at the net worth. Enigma is actually top of the charts.
This happens more often than you would think, just because Enigma is a great hero at finding, of course, really effective jungle farm, and at the same time he can contribute to ganks, so... Misery has been playing really effectively this game, apart from the Mist Black Hole, which I think wasn't the biggest of deals. Could have maybe gotten them a bonus kill or something like that, but not really too much. He's still doing what he needs to do for his team now. Want to point out Slark. We should talk about him a lot more, because we were talking about Mousesports lineup. They want to snowball in the mid game. They want Slark to take control of the game. He's 4-0, which is great, but he has 64 CS in a 20-minute game, which is really low for a position 1 hero. He has tried to find kills. He's found a few, but
Well, it's like
He's
last game.
falling
He left the laning
he
stage
should.
very early, as the BKB is now an Enigma, as you talked about. And unlike last game, he's not picking up as many kills.
yes.
Which is obviously a drawback with ganking instead of farming, but I think they're still in decent position to take this. Of course, if it gets to ridiculous late game, as we talked about, Virtus.pro just has a very, very good team. But there's always the black hole. Always the black hole, as long as it's not a PGG black hole.
And Invoker
Something to
is
fear.
because of the comeback, he almost has a Necro 3, which is going to be absolutely huge against Treant, against Drow. You can just... No, it's only hero units, right?
Yes.
Not hero-controlled. If there are any
Should just be
heroes, yeah.
heroes.
So the Necrobook cannot remove her aura by just...
Wraith King's gonna find MSS, or maybe the other way around. Nice silence on MSS, but oh my god, NS has no mana. Okay, he
he's
does.
the one. Wow.
Juan at the last second
Radiant's
jawed him.
bottom tower
Is he able to get off his
is under
overgrowth? He
attack.
is. Black hole. It is on OD. That's really all that matters. Is Drow is just right-clicking from the other side of the black hole. They haven't killed anybody else other than the tree.
20 HP.
NS is still alive, thanks to that ult. God trying to get out of dodge, but it's not going to do so thanks to the Blink Dagger and MSS. 3 dead in favor of Mousesports. They're starting to run away. This Illidan is just so squishy. What does he have right now? He should have a Mantis Eye very short. Oh boy. Sunstrike's going to miss. Can they stop the TP? No.
Very nice gust. Hit the Nyx so he
Oh
can...
boy. Oh
Radiant's
boy.
bottom tower is under attack.
I don't think
He's
he's
going to live. It's going to be close, but...
If the Sunstrike had hit originally, it would have been fine.
But Mouse are just finding so much on this map, and again... The Slark and AA that they picked in the first phase
Radiant's
have really
bottom
paid off.
tower
They
has
keep
fallen.
finding... They haven't found as many pickups as they would have liked, but they found enough. And as long as Virtus.pro... You know, that's the flaw of their lineup that I talked about. They need a massive overgrowth. They don't have so much control. As far as damage, they're absolutely amazing, but...
Art!
He's gonna live.
MSS looking for an impale. Hits it. Arsart's dead. 100%. He hits it. Sunstrike. Everything in between. Goodbye. Well, Astral Prism going to save him at least for now, but I believe it's to prevent nothing because he's going to end up going down. No mana to speak of. AA. Pycat pounces out with his ult. Nice Ice Wall overall, preventing any counter initiation from VP.
We're going to try to find something here, just a little bit of farm if nothing else, but I don't think they can get anything here. I think going for this tower push could be really risky, but then again, Prophet is up in 20. He will have his ult. He can TP in. They see Mouse retreating. Actually, really
Dire's
good
top
call here
tower
going for that
is under
tower, so
attack.
nicely done. Mouse out of abilities, so they trade Prophet for a tier 1 tower, which...
Dyer's top
course-
tower
Oh,
has
wow!
been denied.
Are you serious?
One Forge Spirit is going to deny that tower. Fata with the plays.
Oh
That's
boy.
huge. Such a big player. That's... Oh my god. VP needed that gold so badly, and it gets taken away by that
That
little
wasn't.
sucker.
Yeah, that was no good. That was no good for sure. How many Force Staffs do we have on VP? I'm assuming OD. And anybody
Only
else?
him.
Only him. Force Staffs are super important against or with a Drow.
Yes.
Being able to Force Staff him out.
But if she gets pounced, it's...
Well, exactly. If pounced, it's not going to matter.
It's a
But
problem.
everything else, it does matter. So as long as you don't hit the pounce, well, the BKB will get you out of the pounce. But of course, then you can't really Force Staff. So you can't Force Staff through BKB. Your ally units. AA getting pounced on. Speaking about it, Sunstrike is there, and actually he's going to get out thanks to... Was he actually hitting a creep there for a second?
Not sure.
Or is that the
Didn't see
living
it.
armor? I didn't see the living armor on him originally, but...
And Pycat's going for Yasha. So changing up his build this time around, I think he will turn this into a Manta to break the Gust, perhaps. Or he can get the S and Y, which I just think is pretty underwhelming on Slarkin.
Yes.
To be honest. He doesn't...
Well, what do you think about Manta, though?
Manta's okay. He can dodge the Wraith King stun with timing. He can break out of Overgrowth.
Yeah, I think Overgrowth's the big one.
And he can break out a Gust.
There's two ways
Pretty
to
nice.
debuff things, essentially.
Yeah,
There's two skills
it is
now.
a pretty good pickup this game, I
But
think.
yeah, I think SNY's kind of underwhelming as well.
Roche respawning, 5 seconds. I think, yeah, they got a lot of value out of the last Aegis. If they get as much value out of the next one, I think Mouse are going to run with this game. They're getting a really good lead. As far as Virtus.pro goes, they want that BKB on G so he can start fighting, but is it going to come too late? He's actually taking a lot of damage here from the Forge Spirits and will Force Staff.
Radiant's
never a
top
good
tower
sign.
is under
As
attack.
top lane's going to get
Sunstrike.
pushed by Mouse. Cat's coming underneath just to see if he can pick somebody off, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
Slark is so good at nighttime, he has really good night vision. He's going to see Illidan.
Oh, Illidan.
Illidan's going
Radiant's
Skadi.
top tower is under attack.
Serious?
Wow. What do you think of that? Gotti. He
I-
has a slow in his first skill.
Radiant's
But
top tower
gives-
He
has
wants
fallen.
stats, which is great.
Well, this guy used to play Dragon Knight without Breathe Fire, so I guess anything is possible, right?
It is really interesting. I don't know what to think. I mean, I'm a huge Scotty lover. Don't get me wrong.
This
but
hero is really weird with Skadi.
yeah.
But what else? If he just wanted a casual ultimate orb for the value, then get the BKB instead.
Well,
Seriously, get the Ogre
maybe
Club
it's a
for value.
Manta and a Lincoln's.
Yeah, then you should have got the Yasha.
Well,
It's-
shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't
Yep.
know. Cat's gonna be happy with his Yasha, as he's gonna be pretty
Radiant's
close to
middle
finishing that
tower
Manta if he
is under
chooses
Now,
to go
attack.
down
they
that
know
route.
Pycat isn't there. So maybe they can hold this tower or put them out. Damn,
I don't know.
so
Enigma
much
with the
damage
BKB. I don't even think he's used BKB this game.
On
if I'm not
Illidan.
mistaken.
Gonna kill the blue Necro, takes a lot of damage as a result, but can of course heal it up again.
Oh, ooh. The side of it'll catch OD, but nothing to really write home about. And Roche, as he talked about, is up, expecting them to scout it out here. There we go. Gem on Enigma. Does he even go blink at all?
Regeneration.
Yes, he goes blink next.
Okay.
I still think so. It's so much easier for him to get in position, of course. With the BKB, he can just move forward and try to create the wall that we've talked about in previous casts, that when you're in BKB with Enigma, you kind of push people away from you, so you can zone them in the fights, but the only thing stopping his black hole is overgrowth. So if he catches the tree in that, BKB blink is really damn good. And now this Roche cannot be contested by Virtus.pro. This game is looking grimmer and grimmer for them, and Mouse, suddenly Invoker is actually top of net worth. Who would have thought that after that early?
Yeah, that was a terrible start.
Really, really good comeback here from Fata.
And I'm not going to blame everything on this, but I think a factor here, Treant went for Urn instead of Blink. And the black holes haven't been that big of a deal, but I feel like catching the team off guard.
Had the blink yet is the question.
It would have been close.
Maybe, but if he wouldn't have had it, it wouldn't have made a difference, right?
Well, and the other problem is if you're not getting him farm, Wraith King's not getting much farm either. So there's no, like, their supports are severely underfarmed right now. As the Roshan's going to be easy pickings, as you said. Manta is finished on Slark.
Roshan has
And,
fallen
well,
to the dire.
What is the Scotty watch on Drow now? That's become, he has no money. Courier, there we go. Slark Drow. I think I've seen it all, Cinderin. I think I've seen it all.
Slark Drow?
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Scotty Drow.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Slark
I
Drow
apologize.
is good too. Imagine if she had pounce. That would be pretty good.
That would be pretty sick. Actually, that would
mid
synergize
lane,
quite
Fata.
well.
Oh, Nyx.
Oh, here we go. Gus is there along with the Ice Wall. Fata dealing a little bit of damage with the Ice Wall. Is keeping everybody in place. Illidan on the run. He's at half HP. The drum's being popped by Pycat. Oh, he's actually going to get stuck. The beautiful pounce, though, to finish off Illidan in all likelihood. Manta. Okay, Illidan is somehow still alive, but 3 are dead for Virtus.pro, so doesn't really matter a whole lot, as this is just getting out of hand now. Is he going to find another pounce target? AA's dead. Complete team wipe with very little damage done overall to Mouse.
From a greed standpoint,
Radiant's
it made a
middle
lot of
tower
sense to
is
pick the
under
Drow,
attack.
because they knew they had a free lane of farm. I just don't think this is a Drow game. Like, Slark countered her
Radiant's
the
middle
entire
tower
game.
has fallen.
Nyx just blinks in melee range with you and
Radiant's
messes you
middle
up.
tower
And
is under attack.
Mouse's lineup makes a lot more sense. They
Radiant's
got a lot more out of the
structures
greed,
are
first of all,
fortified.
because they had an Enigma free farm in the jungle. The 2 supports, as you said on Virtus.pro, are really underfarmed. And then the trade-off they made for that was that Drow got free farm and did nothing the whole game.
Yeah.
So
Radiant's
maybe if
middle
Virtus.pro would have
tower
gone for a
has
different
fallen.
greedy carry, that could have fought
Yes.
that could have worked.
Barracks are
Goodbye,
under
good
attack.
sir. He has his ult. He'll be back in a second. Slow is ridiculously high AoE. My goodness. He's going to get the right fire bats on Fata. This is going to be the last stand for VP. There is Enigma trying to get off the black hole, but not in time.
It's
Still
over.
has it available. But God,
Gonna die.
one last right click to Pycat, and Malphus down Illidan. You are probably not going to get out of this. A nice intel from the low ground. There's the black hole, not the PGG one that we love so very much. And this is going to be GG in all likelihood. NS will be the last target.
Radiant's middle barracks are
Pycat
under
wants to go
attack.
really deep, but the GG's finally come out. So this is now tied 2-2 in the grand
Radiant's
finals.
middle barracks
We'll go
has
into a
fallen.
deciding game 5. And the last,
Radiant's
this game was not very
victory.
close.
Good stat.
Up until,
That was a good stat.
it's only the second time I've How did it work out? Did you check out how it worked out?
The other one he bought it at like
Bought a Scotty at 12 minutes the last time? That is ridiculous.
14
14,
minutes.
that's still insane. But this one was
Yeah,
at 26 minutes, I believe. I don't even think I saw him auto attack, to be perfectly honest.
He did a
but
few, but then Slark used ult, and then he didn't do any more.
yeah.
Slark again, 10-0. I think
Do you ban Slark? They picked it up in the first 2, though. That's the.
if you don't ban Slark, you really don't pick carries that get full out hard countered by it. It
Yeah.
just doesn't work for them in this game. You could say in the